Welcome, agents, to your mission briefing. You're locked into our explainer today, and we are targeting a highly critical objective: Cambridge 9626 Information Technology. Specifically, we're going to crack the code to extracting maximum marks from a foundational, yet surprisingly treacherous topic, and that's data versus information. If you're prepping for your AS and A-level exams, consider this your absolute masterclass in strategic grade extraction. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's look at today's mission objectives. We'll be covering the extraction mission, core intel on data versus information, the method mark strategy, examiner traps, and finally, the evaluation framework.
Section 1, the extraction mission, high-stakes intel.
So the Cambridge syllabus is absolutely vast, right? But topic 1.1, data and information, is a guaranteed target. It is literally documented to appear in every single examination series. So this isn't just some background reading you can skim, it's a mandatory extraction target for your success. But that actually brings up a massive paradox, and it's one highlighted directly by senior examiners. If this topic is always on the test, why do so many otherwise well-prepared candidates just completely miss the mark when faced with unfamiliar mission contexts? I mean, why does a concept we interact with every single day in the digital world suddenly become a huge stumbling block under exam conditions?
Moving on to Section 2, core intel on data versus information, establishing the foundation.
To build our defense here, we've got to understand how assessment objectives for this specific topic target three distinct cognitive domains: knowledge and understanding, application, and analysis. Look, it is not enough to just know the definition. You literally have to prove you can use it. The syllabus draws a really hard line between two very different approaches to learning. On one side, we've got what's called superficial breadth, which is basically just memorizing facts and figures. On the other side, we have analytical depth. The top-performing students out there, they don't just regurgitate definitions. They demonstrate a connected, conceptual understanding that is completely transferable to new, unfamiliar contexts. Academic benchmarks prioritize logical, structured reasoning over just knowing a bunch of shallow facts.
Section 3, the method mark strategy, tactical execution.
Tactical execution is absolutely everything in IT 9626. In these exams, examiners actually award specific marks for your systematic processing. They aren't just looking at your final answer. They are grading the exact process you used to interpret relationships and draw evidence-based conclusions. To secure those method marks, the syllabus demands a standardized 5-step sequence. Step 1, identify the key elements from the text, sort tables. Step 2, apply the relevant IT principles. Step 3, execute your analysis, making sure to show clear working. Step 4, verify your results. And finally, Step 5, present it all in the appropriate format. If you skip even one step, you're just leaving marks on the table.
The crucial point to remember here is that you absolutely cannot ignore the strict presentation conventions. They are essential to executing that final 5th step successfully. The syllabus dictates that presenting your information requires proper headings, correct technical terminology, appropriate formats, and really clear annotation. This is exactly how you develop professional skills and prove your practical application to the examiner.
Section 4, the minefield of examiner traps. Principal examiner warnings. Every year, Cambridge releases reports detailing exactly where students mess up. We've actually combed through those reports for topic 1.1, and these top 3 traps are exactly where careless candidates lose their hard-earned marks. First off, students constantly confuse cause and effect when discussing data processing. Second, they completely forget to check their format and presentation, basically ignoring those strict conventions we literally just talked about. And third, they give generic, memorized answers that just aren't specific to the context provided in the actual exam question. This quote right here brilliantly illustrates the ultimate examiner alert. It's straight from the principal examiner report. Candidates consistently confuse key terminology. Always define terms before using them in extended responses. Think of that as a direct command. You absolutely must explicitly define your terminology to prove your understanding. Doing this bypasses the traps and clearly signals to the examiner that you possess true analytical depth.
Section 5, the evaluation framework. Deconstruct, solve, evaluate.
To navigate those traps safely and hit the higher-order assessment objectives, you need a highly reliable evaluation framework. The exam demands that you evaluate alternatives, compare approaches, and make totally justified recommendations. Try to think of this deconstruct, solve, evaluate methodology as your chronological mission timeline for completely dismantling any complex exam problem.
Phase 1, identify the given information. Phase 2, break it into logical steps. Phase 3, solve systematically. Phase 4, check for reasonableness. And Phase 5, make justified recommendations. Following this sequence smoothly moves you from the descriptive level, right through the analytical level, all the way up to the highly rewarded evaluative level.
To truly reach those highest evaluative levels, you really have to master the evaluation of evidence quality. And this requires relentlessly exposing the limitations of the data provided, identifying any assumptions that have been made, offering alternative interpretations, and most importantly, explaining exactly how all of these factors affect the final conclusions. This right here is what separates an average candidate from a top-tier agent. So, as we wrap up this explainer briefing, the ultimate question remains for you to answer. When you sit down for that exam, are you going to fall into the trap of superficial breadth and raw memorization? Or will you deploy this tactical, step-by-step framework to secure your maximum mark extraction? The data is right in front of you. How you process it into actionable information is entirely up to you. Good luck on your mission.